Hi everyone, I'm Cora Tervet.
I'm Codi Steele.
This is our first podcast as the Submission Sisters, and we're joined by
The double trouble, Stoom, the
the
dream
comeback
team.
companion, Stoomboy, and Dion Fitzpatrick.
Thanks for having us, girls. Appreciate it. I love the logo, by the way. Looks class.
Yeah, logo looks cool. They could have done it a bit better though. This was a Chat GPT did the logo, and as you see, the young subs medal. I don't know what it is. Do you know what I mean? But and I think they changed like the progress and stuff like that. So, but no, that's a cool logo, man. It's a cool logo. The girls are going to do awesome on this, man. You guys have got a lot of things lined up, yeah.
Yeah. First question. Running 8 successful shows in 1 year is huge. What has been the most challenging in 2025?
Most challenging. Is that a question for me or for Stoom?
Both views.
Oh, you go, boss man.
Most challenging. Good question. It's the unknown, maybe. For us, we were kind of not talked out of it, but for a while, you're crazy to do it. Just stick to the normal competitions, this and that. But obviously, we looked at the adults and the sub only side. We wanted the kids to get off to a head start. Get yourselves out there on the big stage where all the pressure is. It's not multiple mats. All the eyes are on you. So I think for us, it was kind of the unknown. But you've got to adapt. We got a good following, obviously, from the first one. And I think for us, maybe the biggest challenges would be probably behind the scenes, putting it all together. It was one of those situations where, because no one's done it before, you have to make a few errors and learn from them. So for us, I guess it was maybe the rules. Some people like the footlocks in, some people didn't, different stuff. I'm looking at you, Cody, when I'm saying it. Just so everyone knows, Cody has been messaging me every day over Christmas saying, when is this poster out? When is this poster out? And I said to her, listen, there's going to be no more footlocks in your fights going forward if I get one more message, honestly.
Stoom, what's your challenge as well? Like, obviously, you're behind the mic and introducing people on stage. How do you find it?
I think it's brilliant. I think it's brilliant. I mean, I remember we spoke about this because I think I'd done a couple of shows for submission series before we went into young subs. I remember talking to Dion, and Dion's like, "Well, do you know what I mean? This is the plan. This is what we want to do." Do you know what I mean? And I remember people saying, as Dion said, people saying, "There's no point in doing it. It's not going to be successful. You're not going to be able to get the numbers to make up a whole show. You're mad. You're crazy to do this." And people were saying the same thing to me as well, saying, "Stum, it's never going to work. People have tried it before, and this, that, and the next thing." But I think obviously it was Dion. Do you know what I mean? The team kind of sat down and thought, "Well, how are we going to do this?" And as soon as you put the post out there, everybody, as soon as you put it out there that this is what we're going to do, everybody jumped all over it. Do you know what I mean? And the kids were coming from all over the place just to be on the show, want to be a part of that first show. And the very first show, it's the same for any event that you do. The first show is always the most nerve-wracking show because it's the one where you expect mistakes to happen, and we didn't have any. We didn't have any mistakes at all in the first show. And the show's only got better and better and better every single time. Do you know what I mean? And that's all thanks to like the coaches, the parents, obviously the kids themselves. Do you know what I mean? Doing a fantastic, because without them there wouldn't be a second show or a third show or a fourth show. So
That's a good point, Stu. It's a good point. I mean, like I said, we can do everything in our power, but if you've not got the fighters, you've not got the coaches, and you've not got people going, we could do anything, but it doesn't matter because if no one's going, if no one's turning up, then we can't do our thing. And I think challenges come at different times. Like for example, when we went to Edinburgh, for example, we had challenges with obviously the rules, but also the venue. We had to, move things around. But I think it's how you adapt and overcome to the different situations, isn't it? And I think because we were the first one to do it, I think it makes it easier for the shows following to then do it. knowing that obviously there is an audience there that you can sort of tap into. And obviously that's why we've seen a few shows pop up obviously since we've done ours, which is good because it gives the kids a chance to do it more regular and obviously to do different shows as well.
Yeah, we've seen that. We've seen that off the back of what young subs have done. I mean, there was a couple of shows popped up 2025, and there's a few more. Obviously, you got what's the one down in Gravesend, the Mats Invitational one, the Mat Masters Invitational, which is popping up. I think it's going to be happening in May. And that's all off the back of young subs. Everything that we've been doing at young subs the whole year, you're seeing all these people copying what we're doing. But and again, it's not something that we ever sat and thought about and said, well, are we worried about people copying us? Well, definitely not, because they can copy all they want. Are they going to be the same? No chance. Do you know what I mean? Because nobody does it the way young subs does it. Do you know what I mean?
Nothing's as good as young
I think when you're copying, it shows that you're doing something right, but at the same time, we're not perfect. We're not going to be perfect. There is going to be things that we can work on. We're not going to sit here and say, yeah, we ticked every box, because we're going to be honest, there's always things we can improve on. And it'll be the same way with every show that we've done and going forward as well. There's always stepping stones, isn't it? You learn from those experiences. It's how you handle them.
What's been your favourite venue from last year?
Favorite venue? For me, it's got to be the Fed, just because it all started there. It was the first one, and obviously it's got all the production. I think for me, I mean, everyone's got their own favorite shows out of the 8 that we did. For me, it was always going to be the first one, just because we went into there, like Stoom said, it's a learning curve. You don't know how it's going to turn out, and obviously there was more pressure on us than the rest of the shows. So just because it all started there and the venue, the Fed for me, definitely in Newcastle. Not to say the atmosphere is the best there. I think down in Liverpool, I think that's where the atmosphere is the best. The guys down there are just incredible. They all get behind each other, really support. Not saying obviously the North East doesn't do that, but it's just something about that city. It's a sporting city. So for the atmosphere down there, the venue itself, I think the Fed. Stoom, you like the Point though, I think, don't you?
No,
No?
I like the Invisible Wind Factory, Liverpool.
Yeah.
I thought that was. I think in regards to atmosphere, right, that was what young subs do, and I think that's been the best atmosphere out of every single show we've done. We talk about and I'm going by atmosphere. Obviously, I like the Point. The Point's a great venue. It's a really, really good venue. The Fed's awesome. Do you know what I mean? Just because how dark it is, and do you know what I mean? And it's an awesome, awesome venue. The Manchester venue was a bit big, right? But it was still a great place to be. The Olympia was fantastic. Do you know what I mean? Really, really nice place. But the Invisible Wind Factory, do you know what I mean? Just blew the roof off. I mean, you remember how noisy it was, and do you know what I mean? And it was noisy from the moment the doors opened to the moment we kicked everybody out. Do you know what I mean? Because we had to kick people out because it's like, right, it's time to leave. Do you know what I mean? It was like, you don't need to, do you know what I mean? I don't care where you're going, man. You just can't be here. So we ended up having to kick people out because it was just that good. So in regards to atmosphere, probably for me is definitely that second show in Liverpool. That's the one where the Scousers, that's where we talk about the Scousers all the time. And that's where the Scousers really came out. And do you know what I mean? They kind of just blew the roof off every single place they went. Even Edinburgh. Edinburgh wouldn't have been a show if it hadn't been for the Scousers. Do you know what I mean?
Let's talk about the Billy Rimmer fight on, in Liverpool, Stu. That second one when they're all singing and chanting. I mean, that's when, for me, really everything got started with young subs. That's where the atmosphere came in. It felt like an MMA show for adults. It was just, and I think because the venue, I mean, it was a bit narrow, but I think because everyone was all kind of stacked around the mats, it was that nitty gritty sort of feel. And that's another reason why I think everyone's going to love Grapplix 2 next month in Burnley as well. It's got that feel. It's a 2-story nightclub. We've come away, not to say we will do going forward, but it is it's a nightclub vibe. So you should see what we've got, the screens, production, but it's got that fight club feel to it, which I think a lot of the kids are going to enjoy, because the superstars, they go up there and You know, they've got the capes on. You guys you're cool. You don't shy away from interviews and stuff now. They want to be like Paddy Pindler. It's a different world now.
Will we ever see another show in Scotland?
We will do at some point. I can't promise it will be this year. I mean, I thought we got a good turnout. The adults was really busy. Stoom, you expected a little bit more, I think, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I've been very vocal about it. Do you know what I mean? I've done shows where I've spoke to people, and do you know what I mean? I was very, very vocal about it. I was disappointed, not in the show. The show was awesome, but I was just disappointed in the turnout. Do you know what I mean? I felt there could have been more. Do you know what I mean? It was great, the people that were there, but there was people that didn't go that potentially should have supported the show and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So I was disappointed with some of it, but as in not the show itself. The show itself was fantastic. Do you know what I mean? We've seen some amazing matches all day throughout the young subs. Do you know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
we'll talk about it later on, man. The Joel Thompson and High and Pietro. Do you know what I mean? That was
That's my favourite fight to this day, the first
Yeah.
one. Just because the atmosphere, I mean, it's one of those situations where you go to a new location. I mean, we got, I think, 31, 32 adult fights, but then the kids, there were 53, 54. So again, really busy. I think obviously, you know, the Liverpool crew with Laws and Liverpool Combat Academy, they really supported it, which was amazing for us. We needed that. But that fight with Joel and Mr. Brazil, if you will, you know, everyone chanting for overtime. It was just that has to be the number one fight. That it was
Yeah.
crazy. I remember talking to Robbie from Jungle Academy after it, and he just said, "Mate, that was wild. That was absolutely brilliant." Yeah, it got everyone's attention. You were sucked into that fight, and if you looked at rank as well, everyone loves to see an underdog win, and I don't mean that as in, you know, the Brazilian should definitely win. If you looked at rank, for Joel to pull that off, obviously he's not been doing that long. He does MMA. I thought it was incredible. It was brilliant to see.
I don't think there's enough Scottish kids involved with like young subs. Like Liverpool's got the teams and all the parents and that, which they come as a group. Like me and Codi and everybody, we're just separate. They've joined into a group.
As I mean, I know that Robbie put together the training camp. I remember you were there, Cora, with the broken arm and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? And you had to kind of sit on the sidelines and watch. But obviously, Robbie tried to put together, or did he put together, obviously, a team for the Scottish show. But then after that, they kind of everybody just went their own separate ways again. Whereas you look at Liverpool Combat Academy, I mean, you've got Liverpool Combat Academy, you've got KC Fight Base, you've got MMA Academy, and the Scousers all stick together. Do you know what I mean? They all stick together. Wherever they go, they turn up in numbers, and they're well represented. And a lot of these kids don't just train jiu-jitsu together, but they go through like MMA and they do go through the IMAFs and stuff like that. So a lot of these kids, all these kids know each other from different parts of the UK. I think mostly the north of England. So you're maybe talking about anywhere from Liverpool, Manchester, north. They all know each other. Whereas obviously the Southerners are very different. They kind of stick to themselves. But yeah, Robbie tried it, and again that's something we'll probably look at this year again with Robbie, and because I know Robbie was very, very excited when that was put together. So hopefully we can maybe see that. Well, I know that you're talking about doing an Ireland and a Wales and stuff like that as well, Dion.
Yeah, we obviously want to move around. Just going back to obviously Scotland before we move on. You know, Robbie's a great coach. I mean, for kids, adults, if you want to learn anything, obviously go to him, which I know you girls have been doing. But I think when we went to Scotland, we wanted to put politics to one side and bring clubs together. That was our goal. That's what we wanted to do. And if you can look at Liverpool Combat Academy, they're a great example of that. And you can see why, obviously, Loz is a fantastic coach, great friend of mine, but you can see why they do so good. You know, they stick together. You know, everyone achieves more when you're together as a team. But yeah, going on to Ireland. Yeah, we want to get to Ireland. Obviously, we've got London next. That's our next new location. That's going to be fun. A lot of people saying, when's the announcement going out? We've not done it just yet because we want to obviously fill the Newcastle card up a little bit more before we get that announced. But that's going to be in April. So that's the next one, and then possibly Stoom at the end of the year. Look to do Ireland. Yeah, we want to travel around. Obviously, got Marbella coming up, summer camp in August. So we're getting into Europe. That's the goal. It's always been the goal of ours.
Obviously, we've had like a team event. The Orange Rangers, they won Destiny, Darla, Taylor, and Daisy. Are we gonna have another one like that?
Yeah, we'll get Sub Wars going again. The next team event will obviously be in London. So Team North versus Team South. That's going to be tasty. We're looking forward to that one. We've got all the Liverpool Combat Academy. Loz, he's sending his team down there. So it's going to be a very strong North team. And in regards to Team South, I know it's a long way obviously coming up. So we're going to them this time. But the numbers, we've never seen numbers like it. They've sent easily 60, 70, 80 kids. There's loads. So it's going to be very entertaining. I'm in the middle, Stoom. I'm waiting for you to give your vote. Obviously, being born down there. I know, obviously, you know, Mr. Scotland as well. Which team are you going for? That's what I want to know.
Mate, the Northerners, man, the Northerners. I
Yeah?
love it. I love the kids down south. Do you know what I mean? And the gyms and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, anything. I remember somebody laughing. I had a joke with me and said anything south of Leeds is technically France. Do you know what I mean? So, but I don't know. I mean, the kids down south are absolutely brilliant kids. Do you know what I mean? We saw obviously like Checkmate Essex coming up on the first show. Do you know what I mean? It just absolutely ran riot. Do you know what I mean? Everywhere they go, they do really, really well. And obviously kids from surrounding gyms down there. But I don't know, mate. There's something different about northern part of the UK. Do you know what I mean? It's there's something different about them. Do you know what I mean? And whether that's, as I said, whether it's from Liverpool or from Manchester, Newcastle, Scotland, or wherever. But yeah, I can see the Northerners taking this one for sure.
Let's go.
I'll get a hard time. The first person that'll message me will be Ian. Ian's dad.
Yeah.
But Spoon, man, come on. What's
Ian's
up, man?
dad has been brilliant all the way through the process, by the way. I've been talking
Yeah.
to him. He's our guy on the ground over there. So big shout out to him. He's I've missed a few of his calls lately. I've just been that busy. I do need to obviously get back in touch with him, but he's been getting all the fighters down there. Obviously, check my Essex. The venue's going to be down that way as well for those guys. So again, pretty much central London, Essex way. So it's good for everyone to get to. But no, it's gonna be very, very good. We've got a good venue as well. That's all sorted. It's got the staging, it's got the production, you know, because like me and Stu have said many times before, we don't want to go somewhere and you lose the show qualities, which, you know, if you look at Young Subs, Submission Series, we're known for production and we don't want to lose that. So that's important for us.
We've got Codi's title match upcoming in March 1st.
Yeah, we're taking footlocks out for Codi. Abby can have them. We're taking them out for Codi. We're not really. No, it's going to be a good fight. It was an absolute nightmare for me to match. I hate matching good friends together because I don't want to be the guy in the middle that causes a bit of friction. But you can see they're both, you know, they're really close. They're both good girls. Yeah, may the best fighter win. Obviously, we've done our part to match it. They both deserve it. It's been nice to see them both grow as well. They've really grown into it. Abby obviously she lost the first few. Her attitude was absolutely incredible. She came back, won a few. Obviously Scotland, Manchester. She's won a good few since then. Sunderland, and then obviously the real deal Steele went on a bit of a run lately, haven't you? I've lost count. Crazy wins.
Was it 6 wins in 8? I think it was. Codi.
Is it? Wow.
Yeah, 6. I'm sure it's 6 out of 8, and I think Abby is. What's Abby? Abby's. I don't know what Abby is. I know she had the very beginning. The first 3 young subs she couldn't get a win at all, and then ended up going to young subs 4 in Edinburgh and getting the win. And I still remember her coming up to me after it and came over with her dad and was like, we got one. We finally
Yeah, he
got one.
said that to me as well, walking
Yeah,
out in Edinburgh. Yeah.
So she was very, very excited for it. Do you know what I mean? And obviously the title match, we know how very good friends her and Cody are. So I don't know. Cody's an animal, man. Cody's dangerous. Do you know what I mean? A very, very dangerous child.
Those
So,
feet.
yeah.
We'll watch them.
I'm just laughing at Daniel Frame's comment. Yeah, Daniel, obviously, Abby's dad, just saying Abby's having her feet amputated. So Cody doesn't get them. Do you know what I mean? So, but I don't know, man. That's a good match. Do you know what I mean? Both girls are, do you know what I mean? Kind of riding high in the young subs. Do you know what I mean? They're both on very, very good form. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully Cody makes it last longer than 7 seconds. Do you know what I mean? Because that was and I remember the joke. We all had the joke Dion saying.
Derek drives 7 hours for bloody 7 seconds.
So, but it'll be a great match. Do you know what I mean? It'll be a really, really good match. It'll be difficult. It's very, very difficult going in and fighting like very good friends. Do you know what I mean? Because it's a difficult thing to do. Do you know what I mean? Especially their age. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I think it'll be very, very difficult for them. But listen, it's going to be a great match either way. It's going to be a really, really good match. But my pal Cody's going to win it, though. Do you know what I mean? I've got to say that. Do you know what I mean? I've got to go with Cody. Cody's the hometown girl. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, Abby.
It's that match where you know that they're going to have fun and they'll shake hands after it and they'll still be friends, and that's the main thing. So at the end of the day, it's like I said, may the best fighter win. It'll be good for us to watch.
Nah, definitely.
I'm not going to say who I'm voting for. I'm just going to keep it, as a matchmaker. I'm going to be in the middle. I'm not going to say. I'm just going to enjoy the fight.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Do you know what I mean? I was excited when it was announced, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen. Do you know what I mean? Somebody's going to take that title home, man. Somebody's taking it home. So we'll see in March who it's going to be.
Obviously, I didn't obviously know I was going to be getting a title shot. So I think it was Manchester BC Arena. I was joking to Abby about, oh yeah, we've got 3 wins in a row. I'm going to be fighting you for my title match. Then my dad tells me, he's like, oh yeah, you've got Abby for a title shot. I was like, probably I'm calling her.
Well, that's the good thing. Like Stoom, we've said before, obviously with sub only, you might lose 2 or 3 fights, but then if you win 4 in a row, 3 in a row, you're in for a title shot. That's how it works. If you've got a good enough record, and like the situation we're at now, I'll use Leah Dawson for example. She is so hard to match because there's some fights she should win and she loses, and then there's fights where she wins and you think, really, she win that? Like, it's crazy. You're all at that level now where anyone can beat anyone on any day. You might fight each other 10 times, it might be 5-5. It's just it's like that. There's just levels, isn't there? And no, it's great to see. But no, 100%, Cora, your record has been incredible lately. You should be proud of that. How are you feeling about it? Anyway, we should be asking you the question, shouldn't we, Stu?
I know.
Let's put it back on them. Come on. I'm hearing all the questions over here.
So you must be excited for it, Cody.
Yeah, either way, no matter what happens, Abby's still going to be my friend. So, yeah, I'm a bit nervous because obviously every young sub's Abby's been in my corner, I've been in hers. We know each other's games, so don't know.
I wonder if the games are going to get changed, Doom.
Yeah, she might not want to be your friend after.
Yeah,
she might not want to be your friend after if you win. Do you know what I mean? She might be like, "Don't talk to me ever again." Do you know what I mean? So, but nah, I'm sure she would. But
we'll put it in the clause. We'll put a rematch in the clause in the contract. Doom.
definitely. So, obviously, you got your dad coming in, Cora. Who's been the Submission Sisters' favourite grapplers to watch?
Cody can start.
Cora, come on. Cora, you can start. You're a little bit quiet over there. We want to hear you.
There's many matches that have been like amazing. In Edinburgh, we had Anaya Ula versus Daisy Bowers. That was
great
an awesome match. It was just so back to back. We've got Galleon and Doom. He's an entertaining fighter. but like Jazzy Tyson, Taylor Ben, Leah, like they're all amazing. I love watching just the way Leah has come up. Like she's been an underdog. People hasn't really noticed her, and as you say, Dion, like we're like, well, she won. Has she won? But honestly, she's really talented. Daisy Bauer smoked everybody this last year. She went through everyone. Obviously, Leah better at the end of the year. But she's 60 kg. Is it? Title?
Who's this, sorry? Daisy? Daisy's 65.
65, yeah. 65, yeah.
But there's a lot. I feel like there's too many to name for best grapplers to watch. There's a lot of entertaining ones as well. Like all the Liverpool guys, Scousers, they're funny. Like Paddy Pimblats, as you say.
That's it.
Obviously, every fight on Young Subs is a good fight. That's just what makes Young Subs Young Subs. I honestly couldn't tell you which has been my favourite grapplers to watch. I feel like every single match has like entertainment to it and all that. Very talented grapplers on Young Subs.
Also, Joseph Taylor. He's
a character. Yeah, he's a character. He gets the crowd going. Yeah, it's when he comes out, it's his walkouts, and he's there waving his hands and that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's brilliant. Do you know what I mean? And one of the things we did, we were doing the commentary, and I remember talking to Dion and saying, let's set up a third mic. And let's anybody that wants to come on and do a bit of commentary, let's get them on. And the first person to come over, Joseph Taylor. Can I get on? Yeah, no problem. And he came on, man, and he was honestly, even his breakdown of the fights, and I think, what is he, like 10-year-old or something? Is he even 10-year-old?
9, 10, yeah, he's a young kid, man.
And he was talking about, he was breaking down the fights. Oh, he's going to try this, he's going to try that. And, do you know what I mean? He was talking about football and he just having an absolute laugh. Do you know what I mean? And then at one point, I left him and Fraser on their own. Do you know what I mean? And they were talking, and the two of them together were absolutely hilarious. Do you know what I mean? So, and Fraser's not really a funny guy. Do you know what I mean? He's a miserable looking guy, but Joseph Taylor got him laughing and stuff like that. So, I'm only joking. Fraser's cool, man. Fraser's good. But yeah, Joseph Taylor was brilliant. And then when he was in, where was he in Manchester? And he's like, Stu, after he won his fight, he's like, Stu, give me the mic.
Yeah, he got the mic,
and he was jumping on the mic, and he was, do you know what I mean, calling out title shots and everything. So,
I had to give him a title fight after that. If you're at that age, if you're that confident to grab the mic and say, right, come on, I want a title shot, you're gonna get it. Honestly, that was class.
yeah. But nah, he's been brilliant. I mean, you mentioned Leah Dawson. And I said this the whole time, and Leah Dawson is one of these grapplers that flew under the radar for the whole year, right? She'd done things quietly, do you know what I mean? Whereas obviously other people were, and again, obviously as a grappler, when you go out, you win, you want to make noise and let everybody know about it. Whereas Leah Dawson, it was quiet, do you know what I mean? There was nothing, and you didn't look at Leah Dawson and think she's going to be spectacular in the way she ended the year. And then, as I say, she goes to the end of the year and takes out two of the top female grapplers in the UK at that age and weight. And
I think what's so impressive about us, Doom, just obviously touching up on what you were saying, she'll take a defeat and then she'll go back, she'll study what she did wrong, how to break the opponent down, and you can kind of put your money on it when she comes back, she'll probably win that second fight. If you look at Young Subs is there so you find yourself, right, as a grappler. So these years now, don't worry about losing. Like, don't worry about fighting the best at your age, because get that experience, because you've got to use Young Subs as that stepping stone, because at some point you will be hitting obviously sub-series, which is where Leah's going to go now. And the level there, it's a big jump. It is a big jump. There's no question about that. When you get on that, and I always relate back to Leighton Cora from Origin Darlington. Okay, probably didn't have an amazing record on Young Subs, but his attitude of what he needed to do to be a bit more patient in the fights And then when he went to sub-series, I think he's 2-0, 3-0. And in those fights, there was very 50-50. And you could see something switched where he knew just to be a little bit more patient, hang in there, see what happens. And he got the wins in all those fights. And it's just adapting and learning from those situations. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Leah Dawson does, because obviously she'll be making a debut on sub-series now.
Yeah.
In March.
To see, because obviously, as you say, sub-series is a big jump. Like, it's completely different. The strength and maturity level from kids to adults is massive.
Yeah.
But I think she'll do well. She always has done well.
She will.
Win or lose. She never. I wouldn't say she's ever lost like horrible. She always gave everyone a good challenge. So it'll be exciting to see her on sub-series.
The thing is, she always fought the best people that she could fight in the divisions on young subs. Like, she never turned anyone down. She always fought them, and she walks away with a belt and no one can take it from her. That's the main thing. Stu, I want to know who your favourite fighter is, asking the question.
There's a few. I've got a few. Do you know what I mean? I've got quite a few. For different reasons. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, Abby the Beast, for just the way she conducted herself. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, she went on that losing streak at the very beginning, but then she pulled it back. And I remember I used to always say to her, look, once you get that first win, do you know what I mean? Then it'll change, and then it all changed for her. And then now we see her, she's up against Codi for the title. Obviously, the girls as well, Codi and Cora. Do you know what I mean? Every time they came out and put on performances. Do you know what I mean? We saw Cora at Young Subs 2 in Liverpool when she fought Amelia. Megan. Amelia
was fun.
And Megan had fought prior, and then but against Megan, and she went out and after we'd seen what Megan had done to Amelia, do you know what I mean? Had her in that triangle for the whole match and was pretty dominant, and then Cora comes out and was very, very dominant over a very, very good and experienced Megan McCrossan. And then obviously Codi, do you know what I mean? Just a leg lock machine. I mean, she's trying to leg lock bouncers as she walks in the door. Just get out of my way. So obviously the girls and obviously the Scottish kids as well that have done brilliant. But one guy, Noah Tyndall. Do you know what I mean? I think Noah Tyndall, in my eyes, and again, I've said this on a number of occasions, Noah Tyndall for me is an absolute superstar in the making. I mean, you're talking about on the level of things like your Paddy Pimblett, your Conor McGregor and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? I think he's going to go on and he's going to do some crazy things. And the thing with Noah, do you know what I mean? There's a lot of hype around him. Probably not. I wouldn't say it's not hype because we know how good he is. Do you know what I mean? But there's a lot of eyes on him, right? And for being somebody, a 14-year-old kid, to have that amount of eyes watching you and still go out and put in performances the way he does is just phenomenal. Do you know what I mean? And he's so calm and collected. I remember you asked him, who do you want to call out? And he's like, I don't call anybody out. People call me out. Do you know what I mean?
Cool. Very cool.
Just so cool. And
he walks the talk, doesn't he?
Yeah. And I just think he's an absolute superstar. He's going to be one you're going to turn on the UFC in 5, 6, 7 years time, and Noah Tyndall's going to be on the UFC, and he's going to be, do you know what I mean, on the main card fighting whoever. Do you know what I mean? Just going out there and smashing people. Do you know what I mean? And that's what you're going to see. But we're going to see that from a lot of the kids that are on the show. Do you know what I mean? A lot of the kids, there's a lot of kids are MMA fighters. A lot of them are going to go on and you're going to go into ADCC. They're going to be IBJJF world champion, black belt world champions. And do you know what I mean? A lot of these kids are going to go on and do some great things. And I'm excited. But yeah, I've got a lot of favourites. My favourites, do you know what I mean? I talk about them all the time whenever I do lives. Do you know what I mean? So I'm probably the most biased and unbiased person ever. Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, at the end of the day, do you know what I mean? It's every show that gets put on, we see some great matches. Do you know what I mean? So, and that's why 2026, I'm buzzing for it. Absolutely buzzing for it.
The guys, like the team, AVT leads team, they always come out and put on a performance as well.
Tom's a good guy. Tom, we're good mates with Tom. He always sends a lot over, really supports the show. Again, they're a little bit like Loz and, Liverpool combat. They support each other. They come as a team. Brilliant. Probably two of our most supported clubs, really, Stoom, aren't they?
Yeah,
Big shout
yeah.
out to those guys. You know, we appreciate it. Never goes unnoticed. But yeah, going back to Noah Tyndall, another reason why we used him for the Amazon TV show, just because he's so cool on the mic, great fighter, great to watch. I love watching our champ from Hammer, 70 kilogram Alex. I think there's levels to the game, and every time I watch him, I always think it's just a masterclass. I think he's absolutely brilliant. I think for kids around his age and younger, take notes because he is very, very good. Just got his
It's,
purple belt as well.
yeah.
Yeah, very
It's
good.
when he come out. It's when he come out in Liverpool and he took his top off and no, he didn't even have a top on, man. He didn't have a top, and then somebody had to give him a top to put a top on. You're like, mate, this is a kids show, man. Get the top on. Do you know what I mean? So, but he's so cool, man. He's absolutely brilliant. As he have him and Daisy are the champions, both champions at Hammer. Hammer doing some
Yeah,
amazing stuff as well. Do you know what I mean? So really, really good team over there.
first club to get male and female champs. You know,
Yeah,
for the titles. Daisy has been brilliant, hasn't she?
yeah,
Really,
yeah,
really good. Great for the show. Made a ambassador as well. Our latest one. We need to get a post up actually, on the page, which we'll get sorted this week.
yeah.
But yeah, really good club.
Talk about AVT as well. AVT Leeds had a horrible start to the year. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, young kid Matthew, and what they did as a team, man, they pulled together. And this is what maybe a lot of people didn't see was that they pulled together. And I remember we had the show. I think it was in Sunderland where we did
Sunderland.
the
Yeah.
tribute at the point, and the whole. Do you know what I mean? The whole team was there, and the family, friends, all that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? And but they had I think it was after, because obviously the kid had been on Young Subs 1. Really, really good kid to deal with. Very talkative, do you know what I mean? Involved in everything. So it was very easy for that team to kind of put their head down and be like, well, we're not doing anything else for the rest of the year. But no, that's not what they did. What they did was they were like, right, okay, let's go out and honour this kid and everything that we do for the rest of the year. And I thought that was one of them moments where it was absolutely special, because, and again, we were all 100% behind them and saying, look, do you know what I mean, whatever you're doing, whether you're coming back this year, whether you're not coming back, do you know what I mean, there's always a place for AVT there. But no, they came out, and Tom, and obviously the rest of the kind of coaches at AVT did amazing in pulling these kids together, because it was a very, very difficult time for them. Do you know what I mean? So, and as I said, do you know what I mean, they were one of the kind of top teams of young subs for 2025.
Yeah, it goes back to Tom Crosby, doesn't it? You know, great coach, leads by example. You know, he's always got his troops ready for action, great attitude, and you know, we were more than happy to put that event on. Obviously, it was a charity event, and that's where Sub Boys came into play. Obviously, we're being a team event, we wanted to get everyone, you know, together. I think AVT made up about 3-4 of the teams, which was nice. And if you looked at the team names as well, it was all, you know, for, you know, obviously the passing, but it was his nickname and stuff. They used little bits that was personal to him, which was nice.
Yeah.
That's what it's about, isn't it? Bringing people together. You know, that's life. And you know, we mean Stu, we say this all the time. You know, don't put people down. Push people, encourage people, bring people up, because it's amazing when, as a team, when you pull together, what you can achieve together. I mean, look at the messages you girls always come out, obviously, on stage with, you know, about stabbings, mental health. There's so many things that together as human, you want to see humans do well, or at least we do anyway. You know, if you can leave a little spot where the world's a better place, if you know, if you can. Team North, someone's put in there. Let's
Team
go.
North, yeah. So Team North, obviously getting a bit of love there. Just obviously the Del Boy just saying Noah Wright, Odin Dawson deserve a mention as well. Take on anyone. Yeah, they definitely will. Do you know what I mean? Odin Dawson as well, man. I laugh because every time I turn up, man, the Dawsons all come out a minibus. I mean, there's loads of them. They all just troop out a minibus, and do you know what I mean? It's like one of them, not like 9-seater people carrier type things. Do you know what I mean? And they all just, as soon as the side door opens, it's like one comes out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that whole Dawson family. Do you know what I mean? It's just it's a
Mustn't have had
remarkable family,
TVs.
man.
Mustn't have had TVs back then, Stu.
But it's definitely a remarkable family. Do you know what I mean? The Dawson family. So
Yeah.
and we're definitely going to see a lot more of them in 2026 as well. Do you know what I mean? So they travel everywhere as well, man. Do you know what I mean? Like they're all over the place. Do you know what I mean? So
Orden's another one. He fights anyone. I mean, his record on the show is brilliant. His record on the show deserves a title.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know he went up against Noah Tyndall, which most people don't fight Noah Tyndall for obvious reasons. So it would be nice to see maybe, obviously, you know, we get Noah Tyndall pushed up to the 50. You know, he's naturally growing anywhere. Keep Orden around there and see who we can match, or you know, if there is a rematch there, we'll make it happen. We'll need to speak to both parties, but you know, we'll definitely see a lot more of Orden. He's you know, he don't back down to a fight.
I always see them at other comps as well, and like they both do so well. The whole family does. He takes many golds at Empire. You see that quite often. But no, there is a lot of them, and they all do well all the time. So it's good to see.
Yeah.
Obviously, Megan Stacey, she takes on anyone, and she always puts on such a good performance.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she was brilliant, weren't she? I think she went 5-0 to win the belt. I know Frankie got her in Liverpool, but that was in the gi, so your record goes off the gi, not in no gi. She won a few. I think there was a few decisions, but again, she was happy to fight people that was heavier, older, and then you know we just said, now that you've got the belt, obviously naturally she's going to be growing. She's, you know, she wanted to move up a division. There's a lot of tough girls in the 55 category. I kind of call it the group of death, if you will, because it is literally stacked. It's crazy, you know, especially from Liverpool Combat Academy. There's 3 or 4 just there alone.
And Megan's fought all of them.
Megan's fought all of them. Yeah.
So,
and you know, we just said to her, if you win, amazing. If not, it's experience. Take it. No one can take the 50-kilogram belt off you anywhere. You're now in a new division, a new journey starts.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean that category is just crazy. I mean, look at obviously Rose. You know, you got Sienna, Jazzy, Caitlin, Cora's in there. You know, Amelia's in there. It's just wild, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, Megan Stacey was one of the ones. Obviously, the nickname for her was the Queen of Young Subs. Do you know what I mean? Because she would fight anybody, regardless of weight, age. Do you know what I mean? Made no difference at all. Do you know what I mean? I think she was fighting what's Megan? Megan's like 12-year-old or something, and she was fighting a girl that was like 15, 16 years old. Do you know what I mean? 5 kilos heavier than her, and she just came out. She'd done her thing. Do you know what I mean? She was going out and she was beating some. She was winning some. She was losing some. But she always came back. I mean, there was one match where it was a rough match for her, man. I mean, she got the elbow was getting grinded into her face and stuff like that. And she just come out. I think her mouth was bleeding. She just come off smiling like, that was brilliant. That was awesome. Let's do it again. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know how many fights Megan had. I think Megan might have had probably one of the most amount of fights of everybody.
Yeah, every
12 fights
show.
or something. Yeah, so
yeah.
But she was doing like double matches and all that kind of stuff. It might be more than 12. But I think she probably had more matches than anybody last year. And that's why she's the queen of young subs, because she'll not turn down anybody at all. Do you know what I mean? So
the way she comes out after a loss as well, like she never is upset. She always puts on a good challenge for the hardest matches as well. But if she loses, it's not an issue. She's still gonna fight whoever wants her, whoever she can. She's always looking for a match, and she's like, I've spoke to her mum and dad, and they're always happy with her doing it as well. I think family as well, like your surrounding, supporting it, and Like it's a big thing because a lot of parents are like, oh no, my daughter, my son's not fighting them. They're 5 kilos heavier. Like, but they'd never heard that of any of them. But after she loses, she's still happy, still nice.
No, you're right. It does go back to obviously parents. I mean, the dad, he's always very open to, you know, challenges, which is good. He understands, obviously, she's 13 now, her teens, 13, 14.
I think she's 13 now, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, for us, like when we're matching, you got to keep in mind we can only match who's there. I mean, you know, we try and pull different fighters in. I mean, on sub series with the adults, it's more flexible. You can say to an adult, right, there's the name, that's the weight. Could be 2-3 kilogram up. They're not bothered with that. Yeah, no worries, mate. We'll take that. Obviously, we always look into it and try and make it as entertaining for everyone as possible. Don't get me wrong, but with the kids, you got to keep in mind we always try and keep it as close to age and weight and rank as possible because we know the margin it's a lot bigger. It's massive. Where there's times where we'll offer a fight and we're not trying to be hard work and give you like a hard fight. It's just what we've got. Where majority of the time the second option is actually harder than the first one. We always look at both sides and think, well, you know, we don't want to kill a kid's confidence because we know that's key. A lot of fighters play off confidence. You know, we want to encourage them, but we also want to look and see, right, how far can they go? You know, could they fight that person? Would it be a sort of, if you lose, would you take something from it? If you win, would you take something from it? And you've got to look at both sides. So there's a lot of times where, for example, Megan, she's took on a harder fight, a fight that probably, you know, would be maybe respectfully, maybe another level up, or she's taken two. But again, there's another reason why there's a belt round her waist, and that shows her as a fighter, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Next question.
What about Grapplex too? How's the matching going for that?
We've had a very positive response to Grapplex. And again, that's a new project. At the minute, it's very it's one of those we can take more risks at the minute because it's a startup, if you will. It's not like submission series where you go from a nightclub to a sports hall. Once you hit that level, you've got to stay there. Where with this, at the minute, we're testing new things in Leeds. Obviously, that was in a sports hall, and it will be based off sports halls. But we wanted to make it darker, where it had that more nightclub feel to it. With this one, it is in a nightclub, and the production, you should see it. It's incredible. Honestly, it's probably. I'll probably go as far as saying maybe the best we've got so far, and that's even from submission series because it's a 2-store nightclub. It's my mate's nightclub. He's let us go in there. You've got the screens downstairs. You've got screens around the mats as well when you're fighting. So it's a bit of a fight club feel to it. So you got one floor where you got the main fights, and then upstairs we've got another 3 mat areas. We've got obviously the gantry, all the podium and stuff. But yeah, we've had a good response. We just obviously, you know, we're pushing it as much as we can. We want to try and get over a few more faces, regular faces from submission series and young subs over, which would be nice. But we're looking forward to the challenges. You know, it's different. We don't want to, like I said to Steam last year, we're not going in there to challenge anyone. You know, we know there's all these other competitions out there that do, you know, IBJJF rules. We want to stick with the sub-only rules because we know that's where our fan base is. But obviously, at the time, we know people want more fights. That was our main thing last year. People want more fights, but we couldn't give them more fights because we're against the clock. You know, you go out there, you have one fight, and we couldn't get everyone in. I mean, look at Manchester; we had 80 fights on. It was crazy. I mean, we might not ever do that again. It was that crazy because it was the last one at that point before we arranged to do the Christmas special. We didn't want to turn anyone away. We wanted to try and get everyone on. You know, we always consider everyone.
We didn't even have a Christmas special, Dion. Manchester was going to be the last show of the year, if you remember. And then suddenly it was like, no, do you know what? Let's do Liverpool. Let's give Liverpool that Christmas one. So Manchester was going to be the last show of the year. And then I think it was about a week after because Manchester was crazy, man. And just I think it was about a week after it, you're like, guys, we're going to Liverpool, we're going to the Olympia. And I was like, right, okay, so let's do this again one more time for the year. So, and it was, I mean, that Christmas one was a special show. Do you know what I mean? It was a really, really good show. But Grapplex, I never got to Grapplex. I got people were telling me all about Grapplex and do you know what I mean, keep me
Let the
updated
team
and
down
stuff
there,
like that.
Stu. Let the
I
team
did
down there,
that.
brother.
I did that. I let the team down, man. Do you know what
We'll
I mean?
let you off under the circumstances, man. You know that.
But yeah, Grapplex from everybody I spoke to said it was absolutely brilliant. Do you know what I mean? It was it's
No, it
definitely
was. We got some
something
good
different.
feedback. Yeah. Round robin. People love the round robin. Obviously, gi gives you the flexibility, gives you the options. We had the pit as well. Going to make the pit a bit higher. That was probably the only feedback. Make it a little bit higher. It's good for the juniors, but for the adults because obviously we want to do MMA as well. So it gives you the option if you want to do MMA, if you want to do jits. But like I said, we're not here to compete. We're a round robin, multiple mats, but ours is sub only. And yeah, I mean, we're really, really looking forward to it. Like I said, we can test the water with different things. We can try, new things we've not done before, just because obviously we are so early and we're still building it up. We've got the support of all the local clubs. Obviously, we've branded it Lancashire Open because we are in the middle. We've got obviously one side Yorkshire, we got Leeds, the other side Liverpool, you got Manchester a little bit further down as well. But all the local clubs in that area, they're supporting, and the numbers, we're happy with the numbers. They're really coming in, which is good. So we're going to keep pushing, and it's a nice warm up ready for young subs as well. The week before.
Yeah. Just obviously that comment coming in there. Massive thanks to Tom the Viking for jumping into corner Kobe at the last young subs. Now that was one of the highlights we saw throughout last year. Do you know what I mean? And again, this was straight from the very, very first one, was kids coming together from other gyms. Do you know what I mean? We saw it with the Scottish kids, the girls, Cora, Codi, and Faith. When they come out, do you know what I mean? There was that picture went viral. Do you know what I mean? That picture with the three of them hugging each other before I think it was Codi going onto the mat. And that was one where I think everybody else kind of looked and thought, well, hold on a minute, man, we're all in this together. And then from young subs
is that number
too.
2, Stoom? Is that number 2 in Liverpool?
No, was that? I don't know. It was Liverpool. Sorry, the second one. And then from the third one, we saw that more and more teams were coming together. People were coming together from all over the place. Do you know what I mean? And they were walking out and stuff like that. And do you know what I mean? All walking out with each other. And it was just, every time there's a young subs, it's a celebration. And then what you then had was you had coaches were jumping in and coaching kids from other gyms, and if they didn't have a coach like Tom the Viking, Loz was doing it with a lot of people as well. Do you know what I mean? And we saw that and that was one of the things that we saw throughout last year, was just everybody sticking together and making sure that you've got somebody to walk out with. You've got somebody that's going to be in your corner. Nobody was left on their own at all at any point last year.
Yeah, I mean, that's another reason why, we made Codi and Cora ambassadors. Just how you handle yourself, how you carry yourself, what you stand for, what you do behind the scenes, on the mats, off the mats. There's more to it than just going out there and fighting, isn't there? So,
yeah,
big shout out to you girls. Well done.
Looking forward to Marbella. What can we expect?
Yes. Let's get a suntan, Stu. Come on.
Sunshine. That's what you can expect, man. Sunshine. Plenty of it. Do you know what I mean?
Honestly, we have got so much planned for you guys. We're not giving the game away too much, but obviously people will go. I mean, we've tried to plan it. I know it's more expensive around the school holidays, but we've had to do that to get the kids there because we understand that's when you guys go away. But no, we've got the sessions in the morning. We've got the sessions in the evenings as well, so you can pick and choose when you want to train. You don't have to beat everyone. It's not mandatory. You come and go as you please. You got to remember, you guys are on holiday. You're there to have a good time. The idea came from Mooch, obviously the ref, good mate of mine, very, very close, me and Mooch. And he's been doing the hard life fight where training camps in Tenerife for the last few years. He didn't do it last year, but probably a good 3, 4, 5 before then. They always get big numbers from adults. They always get a good, I don't know, 70, 80 adult fighters that go over. They train. They also get the locals involved as well. And he said to me, you know, the adults love it. They're going to be on it again. Would you like to do it with me? Come on board. Obviously, he knows with submission series and young subs, obviously that's my side. So he knew, obviously, you know, could we bring everyone over and get the kids involved as well? And I said, yeah, no, you know, brilliant idea. Because when we did young subs, you've got to keep in mind we already had submission series. So we knew what the adults enjoyed with the production, the lights and stuff. So with this, it was a little bit like, it's not, obviously it's the first time we're doing it, but there's experience there. We're not just going to go over there, throw up a camp and away you go. There's thought into it. There's a lot of things a lot of boxes that need ticking. But with that experience, with Mooch already doing it, you know, bring the kids over as well. It's going to be really good. So, and Marbella, I actually lived there for a few years as well. Growing up, I think when I was maybe 7 to probably 11, 12 before I come back to the UK. So I know the area well. And I said to Stoom, with Tenerife, it's 4.5 hours. It's just getting a little bit out of that range where the flight gets a little bit too long, you know, especially with kids, you know, you can get a bit bored. And you want to keep it, you know, so it's as quick as possible. We're Marbella, 2.5, 3 hours. It's a little hot, you know, and there's a lot of things there to do as well. So we went with the Port Banús area. I know a lot of the clubs down there already. My good friend Jack Tyler did a seminar down at the Paddle Club as well. At the end of last year, I know the guys down there. I know the area well, so there's a lot of people that I know because obviously we want to bring in the locals as well, not just the adults but the kids as well. So when you guys are down there, you'll be training with each other. But on day 5, there will be a competition as well. You know, we'll get obviously a few of the UK fighters to fight each other as well to make up the numbers. But the whole goal is that at the end of the week, there will be a bit of a European sort of atmosphere as well. So you get the best of both worlds, you know, and you learn experience from fighting different fighters. And I mean, that's another reason why I said to Stu, we want to go to London because, you know, it does get to the stage where you are fighting the same fighters. I mean, if you go to the competitions now, you do see a lot of the same faces. Where we're young subs up to this point, we've been quite lucky to get different fighters in, so you're not always fighting the same faces. Where by going to London, you're fighting someone new straight away. It's a whole new division. You know what I mean? So, and I think I spoke to Loz about that the other week as well. It's new fighters for everyone. And, you know, we go down there, we put on a show. You're probably going to get a lot of those fighters once they've experienced that coming up as well. So, you know, it's new faces and it's bringing more people in, you know, because that's what we want. Get more people involved.
Yeah, Marbella's going to be cool, man. Marbella's going to be brilliant. Do you know what I mean? Sun, sea, obviously the parents will be out there having some light refreshments. Do you know what I mean? So
they'll be having the beers. They'll be having the beers and on the beach. You know, that's their refreshment. They're having fun, man. You know,
I
the
know
kids.
The
Kids
training
are
camp will
looked
be like a
after.
creche. Yeah. The training camp will be like a creche.
Stu, you're the head babysitter all week, brother. You know that. You've signed yourself up now.
Oh no, but Marbella's going to be good. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing that obviously I remember talking to Dion and you just hear the vision and saying, "Look, this is where we want to go. This is where I want to take it." Do you know what I mean? How do we get there? Do you know what I mean? And everything that we've done last year has been building up to. And I always talk about laying foundations, and that's what happened. 2025 is about laying foundations. 2026 is where you're going to see some special things happening. Yeah, it's going to be a great year. It's going to be an absolutely brilliant year.
You're going to love it. Trust me. We've got so many things outside that's planned, not even just jiu-jitsu terms, like activities and that. I know a lot of people down there that can offer a lot of things. It's free of charge. We're not charging anyone for it. You know, it's just extras. So yeah, it's gonna be quality. You're gonna absolutely love it. Trust me. Really, really fun. And you know, if it does well, I mean, looking at the numbers, it has done very well. There's a lot of people that signed up already. You know, we can make it, you know, a regular thing, which should be good.
Del Boy's just saying he doesn't drink, so he'll just get burnt. He better get some factor 30 in
He
that
is.
forehead.
Del Boy. 3 years going.
So, but nah, he's going to love it, man. He's going to love it. As I said, you mentioned a flight being 2.5, 3 hours. It's still going to be a 7-hour trip for the Inverness mob. Do you know what I mean? So, because they need to get from Inverness to go to an airport that will fly them to Marbella. Do you know what I mean? So they're going to need to travel to Glasgow, to Edinburgh, or even further down south to get a decent flight that will take them directly to Marbella. Do you know what I mean? So it's still a 7-hour trip for them.
Yeah. Time to get to Glasgow.
Next young Inverness.
Young subs in Inverness? No, that's not happening. Sorry. I couldn't do it to myself. It's too far. Del Boy over there, he can experience that one. That's not for me. Stuck in traffic, 7 hours.
Inverness.
As many young subs. Sorry, Stu. Will there be as many young subs this year?
Not this year. No, we're gonna make them less going forward. Obviously, last year we had to make friends with obviously the coaches, clubs, different areas. The whole idea behind submission series, and I think I was talking to Robbie about this. We want it prestige. We want it where if you think of a junior sub on the show, you want to think of young subs. Where it's not all right. Okay, so we're on this month. I can't make the next one. It's okay because they're on the month after. We want it where we go into the areas that obviously were supported. So obviously Liverpool, that would be up there. Newcastle, because we're supported there. That's where it started. But then add new locations as well. So obviously London, the guys last year, they wanted us down there, and it was all about building the franchise, the brand up first, if you will. But we also know that it does cost a lot of money as well for parents. It's cost of living. It's not easy. Obviously the kids won't know this, but a lot of parents are working a lot more time now, not getting paid as much. It's it is harder for people. And if you look at the competition scene as well, there's something every weekend. Like I spoke to the lads about it, and we just said it's nearly impossible now to miss a competition. There's something on every weekend. You can't miss it. So we take into account of that. So ideally this year we probably want to go with 4. 5 would be the max. It would be the max. We wouldn't be doing 8. I think last
never
year.
Say never though. Never say never though, because Dion's always got plans. He's always got things going on. Do you know what I mean? He says 4 now, but we'll wait till we do this show again in January 2026, 2027, and we'll say, so Dion, we did 12 shows last year. How was the year for you?
Yeah. I think as well for us, Stoom, we need to, realise that obviously we want Grapplings to grow as well.
Yeah.
Because again, it's a different atmosphere, if you will, and Grapplings in the long run, I do believe Grapplings will be better than young subs. I know that might sound crazy now, but I think Grapplings will be the one in the long run where you'll see Grapplings in Europe. That's my goal. If you look at grapple industries, they're all over the world. If you don't make goals, you'll never get there. It's very important to write your goals down, visualize what you want and how you want to see things, materializing, if you will. I think young subs will be obviously UK based, but I think Grapplix in the long run, once that's established, once that's built, it will be bigger than young subs. It's just obviously we need to build it up. We need the trust and and people's support as well. But no, it's going to be something different. It's you guys are going to enjoy that. I really believe that.
That's one of the things is wherever we go, for a show to be taken somewhere, it has to be supported. Do you know what I mean? Because there's no point in turning up with a young sub, the whole team, and putting on a show and it's not supported. Do you know what I mean? People need to support it, and that's why we go. Do you know what I mean? Wherever we go, Newcastle is supported. Liverpool. Why did we go to Liverpool twice last year? Because it was very well supported in Liverpool. They came out and supported everything we did. Newcastle, we were there a couple of times, and so on. So wherever we go, it has to be supported by the teams in that area are from that area, surrounding areas. Do you know what I mean? Parents do brilliant. I mean, parents take their. I mean, you're talking about Inverness to anywhere 7 hours. Do you know what I mean? And do you know what I mean? They'll always come down. Aidan, obviously Cody's coach, has travelled all over with Cody for young subs. Do you know what I mean? All the way down to England and just came down off his own back. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I know it's the coach and so on, but your coach, most of the time, your coach is not going to travel that far to come down for you just to have one match. Do you know what I mean? So, so the support's been awesome. So wherever the show goes, it has to be supported. Otherwise, there's no reason for it to go back to that place. Do you know what I mean? So, and that's the thing. I always point that out to everybody I speak to. If you want the show to come to your area, do you know what I mean? Make sure it's going to be worthwhile for the show to come there. And yeah, as Dion said, do you know what I mean? We can go anywhere at all, as long as the support is there.
I think that's another reason as well, behind the scenes, if you will, where the mindset is, why we do want to do these summer camps, because you know, if you go into Spain, for example, I'll use Marbella, Spain being the country, bringing the locals in the future, you know, you can then put on shows there if there's an audience there. You know, if we put a flyer out and said, you know, we're going to do Germany tomorrow, you're not going to get anyone there. You can't just say, right, we're going to do a show there. You've got to build it up, and you've got to bring people together. You know, it's so important, and like you mentioned with Cody's coach, you know, a lot of the coaches, what they put in for the fighters, you know, just traveling around and stuff, and preparation, and you know, there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see. And you know, doing the shows, you know, I mean, my staff, there'd be no show without the staff either. I couldn't do this on my own. Stoom, you know, you couldn't do that on your own. It's the same in any business and in any situation. You need like-minded individuals that are willing to do the work and, you know, tick the boxes for you, because you can't do it on your own. You need to bring people together. So important.
Yeah. We might have an Inverness summer camp. We can maybe do an Inverness summer camp. That could be a shout, Cody.
Have you got any questions from Cody? I've never heard her so quiet.
What's your favourite submission that you've seen on the show?
Oh, Mark Foran, that Foran armbar that we named. That was the one that he had his opponent's arms, both arms up his back. If you remember, that was at the young subs at the Olympia. And that, to me, that was absolutely amazing. It was just the way he set it up and so on. And you seen where he was going, but we had no idea what he was going to do. And that was just crazy, man. Do you know what I mean? And I say from now on, that's the Foran armbar. Do you know what I mean? So it was just a crazy joint lock, and his opponent, he had both arms up his back, and his opponent couldn't tap, so he had to verbally tap. Do you know what I mean? And that, to me, was phenomenal, man. That was absolutely phenomenal. Do you know what I mean? Cody's 7-second footlock as well. Do you know what I mean? That was absolutely brilliant to see as well. Just very, very quick. It's definitely one of the fastest submissions that we've had on young subs for sure. So yeah, there's been a few, but I think the Mark Foran armbar at young subs 8. Do you know what I mean? Was phenomenal.
Yeah. I think for me, and I'm trying to think back because we've had so many fights, it's hard to think. And I'll brainstorm. I'll go away after this call thinking, oh yeah, there was that one. But I remember Joel Fitzpatrick in Liverpool on round 2, the Win Factory. Go back and watch that fight, because that fight was crazy. He was absolutely brilliant how he pulled that off. I remember because I messaged Loz after it, and I remember saying, just tell your son well done, because that was top notch. It was really, really good. So that one sticks in the back of my mind. And also, I think it was when Sonny Taylor, he won his championship. because Sonny did it differently to you guys. He went to Wolverhampton when we had submission series there because we didn't have a junior show at that point. It was all on the adults. So if you was 14, 15, 16, you would go on sub-series and would try and get juniors on that way. That's, how we had like Regan on it and a few of the lads. And I remember he went 2-0. He took a double. He won 2-0 in Wolves, and then he won in Liverpool. So then it would have been the Fed, if I'm correct, after the Win Factory. I think we went back to Newcastle. And he fought Sonny, both of them called Sonny, funny enough, from Roker and Alliance, Newcastle. And I just remember him being so skillful. I remember that fight, and I remember thinking to myself, obviously it was going to be a main event because the belt was on the line, but it lined everything up. As you watch throughout the day, the fight's gotten better, and that was just the icing on the cake. I remember thinking to myself, the skill level in that fight was crazy. I think he got he did 2 throws. He was trying arm bars. It was just one of those fights where you watched and you thought, wow, that was incredible. So yeah, I'd go back and watch that one because that one was brilliant. Sonny Taylor, our 60 kilogram champ, now moved up a division, so we're fighting for the 65 this year. But yeah, no, brilliant. Did it the right way. 4-0, did everything the right way to fight for the belt.
Yeah.
Great talent.
Somebody's coming in saying who you girls looking to have on upcoming shows.
We'd be happy with anyone really. It'd be good to have Daisy, young subs champ. Obviously, a lot of the girls would be good to have on. But also,
Is this Steam's way of calling people out, getting things going?
No, I think what they've been is for the podcast show. So
for the show, that's a good question.
Yeah. So
it can only be up for me. It can only get better.
Yeah, but no, I mean the girls having a lot of the girls on like your Leah Dawsons and stuff like that, and your Daisy Bowers, Taylor Bain, do you know what I mean? And I mean, there's loads, man. Jazzy Tyson, she's a superstar already because she had that BBC documentary. Do you know what I mean? So, so it'd be good to get her on to even talk about the documentary and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the girls, because that was one of the big things from last year was girl power. Do you know what I mean? Like there was a lot of the matches that we saw last year. Some of the best matches that we've seen were the girls. Do you know what I mean? And the girls came out and put on a lot more better performances than some of the boys' matches. Do you know what I mean? And so to be able to give the girls that platform and do you know what I mean, have them on your show, so you guys are talking to them and find out maybe a bit more about them and what their plans, to hear what Daisy Bowers is going to want to do in 2026. I know she's going to want to come back. I pity the person that Daisy Bowers fights first in 2026 because Daisy Bowers, I know she was upset after losing to Leah Dawson. She was very, very upset. But at the same time, she's like, well, do you know what? See, when I come back, I'm going to make a statement. So, I pity the person that stands in front of Daisy Bowers for the very first match in 2026. But to hear from any of them would be brilliant.
I think it's a win-win for you girls because with podcasts, especially this day and age now, everyone's doing them, and it gives you an insight to. I mean, everyone's got a story, haven't they? That's what's so good about young subs. Everyone's been on a different journey. If you've lost first, if you've won first, it's another reason why we did when we do the live commentary, we added another mic just because. I mean, the first reason was so sponsors could listen to the kids to see if they want to sponsor them because. Behind the scenes, we want you guys to be sponsored because we know it makes it easier for you to get around the country, to enter the comps. So that was the first thing. But as well, your personality, like you can look at a fighter and think, yeah, they're good, this and that. But when it comes to talking and stuff, how did they come across? So again, you get better at talking. Like I said, everyone's got a story. So the fact that, you're giving people that platform, that chance, you just never know who's listening. So it's a win-win for you girls. It builds your podcast up, your channel. and it gives people a chance to talk about their goals, their plans, what they want to do. And I think that leads to our next question, Stu, doesn't it? What did the girls want to achieve this year? Obviously, Codi's in for a title fight, but we've also got Cora in for a title fight on the same day. We've not announced the flyer yet. We're still weighing up the opponent. We've got a few options, but there will be a belt on the line for Cora as well. So it could be a big win for Scotland, in March.
Yeah. So what about you then? We'll start with you, Cora. I mean, obviously, title. I mean, the title's been. I mean, you've been had a title shot for a while now. Do you know what I mean? And it was just about finding an opponent. And I know that we were trying to get an opponent, but what you did was you took matches anyway, just to keep yourself busy. So, but obviously, like March is going to be that title match. So it must be exciting for you.
That's a good point, because obviously we put Leah Dawson up against Cora because we couldn't get her matched. She stepped in last minute. I remember talking to her dad, and she wasn't actually going to fight that weekend, but she did it to help the show out. Again, things that people don't know about. And then obviously the injury came at probably the worst time possible, which was a shame, because it would have been a home title fight up in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
But then, I spoke to her dad after it, and I just said, let's not put the title fight on straight away. With injuries, obviously when you came back, I think it was a different animal when you came back. You were winning every comp going, but the mindset was, let's not rush it. Let's, build back into that, because, sometimes you can be rusty, embedded injuries. They can take a little bit longer especially when you broke something, to get back to fighting fit fully, it does take a bit of time. So we didn't want to rush anything. I wanted it to make sense. And obviously, it never does, doesn't it? So, yeah, it's gonna be good to see. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
That's one that I know you were excited when you found out you were going to be getting the title shot. I remember speaking to you at the time, and you were like, "Yes, do you know what I mean? I'm going to get that title shot." And do you know what I mean? And I remember Edinburgh was going to be that title fight, and I remember how upset you were that you didn't get the chance to go. Yeah. And I remember talking to you in Edinburgh, and do you know what I mean? You were just devastated that you were seeing all this happen. You were obviously excited for the show and everybody was stepping out, but at the same point thinking, I could have been here. Do you know what I mean? I could have been here. And so, March is going to be your time, Cora. So what's it like for you? How are you feeling for it?
I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, I had the setback of the injury, but since I've been back, everything is so much better. Like the way I roll, because obviously I train with guys. There's like one girl, if you get that. So in the adults class with loads of guys, bigger, older. Obviously they don't smash me, but I'm rolling to survive. But now I'm starting, I'm rolling, I'm setting up the submissions I want. I'll go into a roll, be like, right, I'll try to get this submission. But all the guys at my gym, I'll go compete, I'll come back, they'll be like, oh, you could have done this to be better, or this could be added onto your sequence. So they're very supportive. I train. I'm just, for this title fight, I feel like it's going to be a new me. It's going to be a better me, because I genuinely want this title fight a lot. And I think I've got the passion for it that not many people do have. Obviously everyone does have a passion, but I've missed out on that title fight from my elbow, so it's making me want it more. So training leading up to that will be hard. I'll probably get smashed a lot, but I'll be worth it. And obviously we don't know the opponent yet, but not, as you say, Dion, people at 55 kg, the girls are hard, they're strong, talented. So it's not going to be an easy match at all, and I know that, which makes me want it more. If I know you're going to be good, then I'm going to try hard. I can be thinking you're the underdog at this time. Oh, she'll be fine, and then I could go get beat. It's happened before. But I'm so used to fighting up weights and ages and blue belts and stuff that I feel like I've got the experience now. Sorry, my cat.
But yeah,
No,
right. I mean, that
you won't be
55
short of title defenses. You know, I mean, the division stacked, but like you said, the mindset going as the underdog, because having that motivation, that, you know, that's what you need. I mean, I remember going back to the Fed, the first one, because obviously I got to know obviously yourself and your dad better after that event. But I remember him saying, obviously, you know, losing to Amelia, down from Liverpool, and you had that to deal with in the back of your head. Obviously, the mindset of going into that fight, even though it wasn't MMA, obviously you know, you're fighting and grappling, but to still fight that same person, how you handled it. And how you handled it was a credit to yourself, because watching the fight, it was just dominance. It was just control from the start.
I think that's also something that helps me like compete better, is that I've had that where she's bet me. It wasn't a good day at the office, as like people say. So I went in and I was like, right, it's like, this is my payback. Like, I do like a rematch if I've lost, and like anyone, I'm not one to dismiss or like be like, oh no, I don't want to fight you. Even if I know you're better than me and could smash me, like I'm not one for not wanting a match. Like, it's all experience. And then the time I get my black belt in jiu-jitsu, then that's when things start meaning a lot more than they do now. And I'll have that experience behind me to give me the confidence and like the competition level and stuff. So I feel like Young Subs last year helped me a lot, because I switched gyms full time to Braveheart MMA, which was big for that year. I seen my game improve massively, because when I went in to compete in, I was rolling like I was rolling with adults. It wasn't rolling with kids. So then after my injury, I went back and you could see that I was rusty. I like would watch my videos back daily, being like, oh, could have done this, could have improved this. But now it's been a few months, and everything that I could have done then has improved more than like what I would have done before the injury. So I definitely have came back stronger, and I'm looking forward to the title match.
Yeah. No,
one thing as well, Dion, you might not know of. These two fought each other. These two fought each other.
Okay.
Yeah. So these two had a match against each other. It was Ambassador versus Ambassador and Inverness at Highland Top Teams, monarch of the match.
No one video that. Codi getting smashed.
Did nobody get?
No one.
I want to see this footage.
I thought somebody videoed it. I need to check. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It would have went viral for like the only person Codi Steele hasn't footlocked.
But it was good. It was good. It
Done
was
it
good
for
fun.
a budget.
But
No.
it was good fun. I'm sure I have it. I'm sure I do.
Yeah. Well, we want to see it, Stoom.
I'm sure I live streamed it at the time. So
Cody, did you not go for the feet?
She couldn't. She didn't have a chance.
No.
Cora closed the door there, did she?
But no, I'm sure somebody did. I'm sure somebody does. I thought I did, but I don't have it. So
no, going back to fighting adults, Cora, that is, you know, how it should be done, really, because naturally it's going to be harder fighting an adult than it is fighting a young junior, and obviously in regards to strength and skill and all that. So it's, you know, it's a good way to train. I think a few of the girls do that as well. Taylor Ben, Daisy, Jazzy. I know a few of the girls from Liverpool do that.
Even when it comes to competing against like higher rank, weight and stuff, I feel my mindset is completely different. Like, I'm going in, like, it's not just a casual roll. Like, if they get on top of me and they're 5 kilos heavier, it's going to be hard. So I'm like, don't get on bottom. Like, I do feel like I fight better when I'm up against older ones and that. And it does I do. I'll like not sounding big headed or big ego or that, but I do well against older ones. But even my own category, like ADCC, I broke my elbow, and it was a silly mistake from what I did. But that's just stuff that
you
happens.
make sure you tap before this title fight. Yeah, this time we're not having a rerun of last year. I'm going to be texting you down before any competition coming up now.
I think with that, with the armbar though, from what I heard about it, it was on quickly. It wasn't. It was like
a bicep curler basically, and then it just stopped. Like,
so
it wasn't a smart move from me. Like, I would never defend an armbar the way I did.
Yeah.
But it was just bad timing. Yeah. But I've improved now. I'm not gonna let it happen before this title match.
And Cora, Codi, sorry, obviously your title match, man. You spoke about it earlier, but I mean, it must be exciting that you and Cora, obviously two very, very good friends, are going to be on the same show, fighting for a title together, and possibly coming away champion and bringing them belts back to Scotland.
Yeah.
Over the border.
That excited, eh?
Is that it, Cody? Is that it? Talk about feet, and she's excited. Talk about belts, and it's like, yeah, another day. She's playing it down. She's trying to be cool. I'll see what she's doing.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a good year, 2026. I can't wait for it. As I say, that we were very excited about what happened last year, and just seeing the rise and everything last year. Then to be able to see what's coming up for this year. Do you remember the highlight? Obviously, going to be Marbella in August. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. Do you know what I mean? And to see the show going from the Fed in Newcastle to then heading over to Marbella and having a show in Marbella at the end of the week, do you know what I mean? Or having an event at the end of the week is going to be absolutely brilliant. Do you know what I mean? So, do you know what I mean? And I believe it's a show. It's going to be on the beach. They're going to be rolling on the beach at the end of the week.
Well, we're looking at a few options. Obviously, the goal for us has always been to get into Europe, and I think that's another reason why I want to do Ireland as well. But like we said, without the fans, the fighters and stuff, we couldn't do that.
Yeah.
But no, we've got a lot of things planned. We're looking at all the options. We're speaking to a few of the clubs over there as well, because we need a bit of a base where we can train. I've told everyone at the minute, obviously the Portobello area, that's where we will be. That's that's going to be the base for everyone. I'm speaking to Mooch every week as well. We're actually going to fly over there a few times before it. We did at the end of last year, actually. Just to get as much, obviously, tied down as we can. Just sort of smooth, isn't it? Preparation, planning, it's always key with anything, I guess. But yeah, no, it's gonna be fun, a lot of fun.
Cody, your dad just said he's worried about Grapplix the week before young subs. He says he's more scared than you about injuries. Do you know what I mean? So is that injuries to him? Is that injuries to him? Do you know what I mean?
Tell him to be quiet. We didn't see him on round 1. Round 2, he's got to be there.
We're going to try and get your dad a match on submission series as well, and your dad as well, Cora. Do you know what I mean? So we'll try and get these two a matched up. We'll try and find a couple of old codgers that we can get them matched up against for sure.
Let's match Cody versus Cora at Grapplix 2, huh? That'll be fun. Hey, Cody's going quiet over there. She's not saying anything.
Cody's just calculating, like, how long can I get Cora's feet? How quickly would I get her leg? Do you know what I mean? So, but no, I mean, you guys have been brilliant this year. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, Cora and Cody. Do you know what I mean? And to see you guys doing the submission sisters, do you know what I mean? Is going to be brilliant. It's going to be brilliant to watch and see what you guys are going to do with it.
Yeah, no, good luck with it, girls. You know, no doubt you'll be fine.
You'll have amazing people on, do you know what I mean? And I think just the way the two yous are and the way you speak to people at whenever comps you go to and stuff like that, do you know what I mean? You really interact with everybody, do you know what I mean? And I think just people will be able to come on and you guys will to have so much fun doing this, do you know what I mean? So and
It's
yeah,
been
you'll be
great having
superstars.
you on. It's been great. Thank you. And thank you for your support throughout 2025. Young subs gave, I think, well, me personally and everybody, a nice, like, a head start. Like, although it is for you and growing the brand and that, I don't get matched often. So it was nice to be getting matched monthly. But yeah, like, Stoom, you kept up with your support, the interviews you do, commentating. It's been really nice. So thank you.
I appreciate
No,
it.
it's our pleasure. You know, you girls are a class act. It's hard matching, but we always find a way. Stoom, in regards to the community, what he does with the kids, with the adults, you know, he don't get paid for this. You know, I've said that from day one. Always putting people on the map, supported our shows. You know, so big thanks to you, brother. You know that already. But girls, no, all the best of luck with the podcast. Obviously, we're honoured to be as number one on episode 1. I'm sure it'll get better from here. But I mean, the key is listen and ask questions. If you read any successful book, How to Win Friends, Influence People, Richest Man in Babylon, all the successful stories, it's always based on people's life experiences. Everyone's got a story to tell. It's just, you know, listen and encourage people and do what you can, you know. Make the world a better place. We can always, you know, do better. We can always succeed, but like fighting, you know, you lose a few, you win a few. So you come back and you girls, you know, you got a big year coming up. Enjoy it. Obviously, don't put too much pressure on yourselves. Enjoy the fights, and I'm sure it's going to be it's a good year for everyone. So yeah, big love. Appreciate you having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All the best, girls. Stoom, brother. We'll see you soon.
Take it
God
easy,
bless.
guys.
Bye for now.
Bye.